Hey, I'm proud of the team coming away with a win. Certainly didn't look like I thought it would look like, or I think the team planned for it to look like. But I told the team we got a bunch of winners in the locker room. They found a way to win. A lot of good and a lot of bad, frankly, in that game. Always better to learn those lessons in a win than a loss. There was a ton of good. I thought at times we looked really explosive on offense. At times we looked completely out of joint. Little mistakes here and there on offense cost us a couple drives. They did a good job keeping the ball away from us. Defensively, kind of the same thing. And I told the team after the game they play really well, and give up a chunk play, and really well and give up a chunk play. And overall, I thought the defense hung in there, but we can be better. Some dumb plays on special teams that I know are getting coached because I'm in the meetings and listening to them, and those things need to get better. My message to the team, I don't mind sharing with you. It's been an interesting camp in that we got a lot of new guys on the team, on the staff. Those guys see our team and the talent on our team, and they're really confident in who we are. Got some old guys that have battled through a lot of adversity and been a good team before and haven't won. As a head coach, you got to balance, telling them they're a great team to keep the confidence up with being honest with them and making sure we're continuing to get better. This team can be a great team. It's not right now, and that was my message to them. So that puts us in a perfect position to have the potential to be good, but know that we got a lot of work to do and a lot of things to fix. Questions?
What was the tone and tenor in the halftime locker room? Because you came off the field and I think you were pretty fired up. Did that continue in the locker room?
Yeah, part of that was deserved and part wasn't. We only got 4 possessions on offense in the first half. I didn't realize that until after the game. We had the ball down there again, took a strip sack. Can't do it. When we get to league play, when you get the ball past the other team's 40, you got to be aggressive but careful to not ever give up points. And those type of plays that give up points can be backbreakers in close games. Glad it wasn't today. We're still finding our way a little bit. I love the guys I have on my office and staff. They're bright. They're doing a great job coaching. I think you can see the improvement by position. We're still figuring it out together, and the team's still figuring it out together, and the players are still figuring it out together. And in some ways, I thought we made some big strides from last week, but there's still a lot to fix.
Scott, just that was in the first half.
I'm not ever going to get into that, but all I'll say is we got a lot of smart people on the staff, and the more we can cooperate, the better we're going to be.
The catch Trey made there, that moment, how big was that? Did you feel like allowed your team to breathe a little bit on that and get that drive going?
Yeah, the team did a great job of keeping its composure, but it was way closer than we wanted to at a couple points. And, in those moments, you got to have players step up sometimes, and we haven't always gotten that. And Trey stepped up, Garrett stepped up and made a big play for us. Tommy stepped up and made a big play for us. Obviously, the running backs did. Thought the O-line blocked really well down the stretch. So, hey, we've been in that situation a lot where we've been in a close game that can go either way, and sometimes you just need the guys to do what they've been trained to do.
Scott, is Anthony better than you originally thought?
We'll see. I don't want to crown him yet. I know how Nebraska is. There's no need to clear space to retire his number or anything right now, but he had a good day.
You like that combination, though, him and AJ? What do they do for you out there?
Yeah, honestly, I thought both those two ran great. Gabe Irvin's a fine football player. He deserves to play too. Ramir Johnson was one of our workhorses last year, and he's still getting caught a little in between, and we got to make sure there's packages for him, because I love that kid and what he's poured into this program, and he's a really good football player. We're running at skill position. We're running into a little bit of a problem. We got a lot of guys that deserve to play, but I'm really proud of AG and AJ today. Both those guys are going to be good players around here. We got to make sure we're using all of them.
What was the squib kick supposed to look like?
Thanks for calling it a squib kick. I meant to open with a joke about that. we have the smartest football fans in America, and I want them all to know that was not an onside. We practice that all the time, that if we get a 15-yard penalty on the PAT, rather than kick it out of the end zone and give them the ball, we try to squib it and bury them inside the 20. And our aim has been off on a couple of those, and we hit somebody. So I'm glad that wasn't a penalty kick in a soccer game to win a game or to hit the goalie in the face.
It's been a while since you guys have won a game. How nice is it to have a good feeling? What can this do to the team to kind of give them a positive?
Yeah, I hadn't even ever really thought of that, and I know that's the reality. But this is a different team, and we got to make this team a team. It doesn't have a lot to do with losing close games down the stretch last year. It doesn't really have much to do with that, other in the scope of my career. I love Ted Lasso. Everybody that's around football loves Ted Lasso. We need to be goldfish, and I think they did a good job of that this week and just coming ready to go. We have a lot we can get better at, I think the team's in a great place because I think they're confident and they see the talent, but they know, hey, we can be a lot better than we were today.
Couple more for Coach?
We can ask Casey, but what did he tell you he saw on that interception?
In the second half, we moved the pocket a little bit, and I think that helps him sometimes. We got some tall linemen, and I would guess that maybe he just didn't see the guy. They dropped 8 on that play, so they dropped into coverage, and he had time, and I was watching the route develop, and that's where the ball was supposed to go. He could have put it in a window, and I don't know if he was trying to throw over him or didn't see the guy, but, that's a big play. Coach Osborne told us every single week we got to be a more physical team. We got to play better than the other team on special teams. We got to win the turnover battle. We're 0-2 in trying to win the turnover battle, and that's one of the major things that needs to get fixed.
I know on Thursday you liked where your team was at, but were you, now that it's over, were you worried about this week and just how it was going to play out, and are you glad to kind of move into a more normal format now?
Yeah, the kids still came and gave effort at practice, but you could see that I think the right word is they just a little off. I think that's natural. We had a couple of our leaders down this week. I think we'll get them back real soon. We had some sickness going through the team, so it was just a weird week. Please don't take that as an excuse. It was just a weird week. I think you guys have all flown overseas and been kind of run down, and that's just what it felt like. But the effort at practice was great, and I don't know if that had to do with why it took us a little while to get started on offense, but we got more of a normal week now, so we'll be back on schedule.
What did you see from them at halftime? I mean, it had to be kind of a frustrating game for the offense, only 23 snaps or whatever. What was like the reaction of the players? How do you see them?
I give them a lot of credit. I had a great talk with their coach, with Coach Schweigert after the game and before the game. Bubba, what a great guy. And I think he does an unbelievable job with what they have. They're going to have a chance in every game like we do. I think they're really well coached. Our kids did a great job. You probably didn't notice a lot of the gadgets and things because our kids did a great job keeping their eyes and being disciplined and not giving up one of those. We knew we needed to get ahead so they couldn't milk the clock, and we didn't. So we kind of played right into their hands. I don't think they could have asked for a better situation than tied at halftime. And luckily we came out and did what we were supposed to do in the third quarter. Otherwise we wouldn't have had very many snaps at all.
When you said the game didn't look the way you thought it would, what was the most different from what you anticipated?
I hoped that we would do what we did in the second half and the first half, and I hoped we'd get some more guys in at the end of the game. I hoped we'd make a fewer dumb plays and give up plays, but the other team practices too, and some of what happened is credit to them. Some of the things are things that we can fix.